Hey, this is Paul Acevedo of Windows Central coming at you from the Xbox Spring Showcase in San Francisco.
Hi, my name's Ian Moreno, and I'm a production coordinator at the Behemoth.
And I understand your new game, formerly known as Game 4, is now called Pit People. Can you tell us a bit about the game itself?
Yeah, it's a fast-paced, turn-based co-op adventure. So with every game we make, we always tackle a new genre, and this is our take on the strategy genre. But with the goal in mind is to create a strategy game that maybe people who don't normally play strategy games would play. So it's really simplified, and it's really about a game of positioning, and you actually move your fighters around, execute your orders, and then they kind of have a mind of their own and do what they do.
And what are some of the other things you've done to simplify the gameplay, to streamline it?
You know, with certain maybe tacticals and other strategy games, you always have to deal and manage the minutia of defend, attack, or whatever. With this, like I said, you're literally just moving them into a hex space around your enemies. You're setting the paths, executing the orders, and then they could maybe they'll attack, they'll maybe fail at what they do, but it's kind of a randomized dice roll right there and it's all based on what they have. There's all these light and medium weapons, mallets, swords, long range, maybe archers, and then we have this whole array of different fighters of these different species that you can recruit and then put them on your team, like a hair troll, or a pixie that shoots fire and screams, or a mushroom that farts poison.
And can you tell me a little bit about the campaign structure itself? How does going through the game work?
So you're going to follow the story of these four tragically unique characters who they come together through a series of events. I don't want to spoil too much, but they're all clearly tied together. During the time, you're going to have this narration, which we brought back Will Stamper from Battle Block Theater, but in a completely new character or new narrator. And as you play, you're going to find that there's kind of more to this narrator than just omniscient narration. There's clearly an agenda. And again, don't want to spoil too much. You're going to quest and go along story quests, but there'll also be side quests and bonus quests as well. So you could play along the story, or you could run around the world map and, again, recruit other fighters, or just go on some really ridiculous storylines, escorting a cupcake. And cupcakes are healers, by the way, in our game. Escorting a cupcake to, a party, or you're helping a little village fend off evil robots.
So the game started out with a really nice animated introduction. I noticed there was a floating bear or something like that. Can you tell us what that actually was?
Yeah, so I'm going to spoil. All right, spoiler alert. At the end of Battle Block Theater, Hattie Haddington, one of the main characters, falls lifeless to the bottom of the ocean. And then the magical hat that kind of took over Hattie earlier in the game starts shaking, and clearly there's something going on, and it shoots this giant laser beam out from the bottom of the ocean, and it goes through space, and then it hits the alien hominid spaceship, and then it hits this giant bear in space and clearly kills it. Then at the beginning of Pit People, you kind of see it drifting off, and so in some ways it kind of picks up where that left off, and then that hits the planet. All of that bear's internal green ooze blood is now raining down on the planet and kind of messing with time and space. And so that's why we're going to see all these elements from different time eras. So maybe helicopters, or enemies with Uzis, but you're fighting it with a sword and shield. And it's kind of this major event that creates this world. We call it an apocalyptic wonderland.
Do you know of any of the specific influences for the setting itself? Because it is pretty unique. Kind of reminds me of the 70s a little bit. I don't know, heavy metal magazine, things like that.
Interesting. Well, we gotta always give credit back to Dan Paladin, who's the art director and co-owner of who's the founder of the Behemoth, and everything in there is his art style. It's in all our games. With this game, because of the time and space, it kind of gives us this awesome ability to tap into different times. So it's a really crazy smattering of different stuff. What did you compare it to? Heavy metal?
Heavy metal magazine, yeah. Some of the European fantasy comics. I don't know. I detect maybe a little influence there.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, it's just it's our I don't want to say excuse to tap into all this different stuff, but we're definitely pushing it. And you could see his style has evolved. With the next gen consoles, we definitely have way more crazy particles going on in the game. We really fill out compared to some of our past games of the backgrounds and explosions. It's a really like chaotic theme. And again, we call it apocalyptic wonderland, so it's kind of this war-torn world now, and we just play that up as much as we can.
You know, it's got a really interesting story, and the cinematics seem to be more elaborate than anything the Behemoth has done before, aren't they?
Yeah, with every game, we were just getting more and more. With Battle Block Theater was our first time even having like full cinematics. And with this game, this is like the most amount of story we've ever had. So again, you're going to see all these fully animated cinematics. With Battle Block, we had like little, I don't know if you remember, the little hand puppets on sticks. With this, it's like fully animated cinematics. So it's just, we're really getting more and more grander story now. And we're not storytellers, but we're trying to be storytellers.
Well, I think you're getting there. So how about multiplayer?
Okay, so you can play the game local co-op and online co-op, so you can play up to 2 players, but you could also play up to 4 players with 2v2 in the arena and battle each other.
Sweet, that's going to be fun.
Local co-op is in our DNA, so every game, it's just we have to do it. It's part of what we do.
Yeah, it's nice to see both local and online support, the best of both worlds. So how long have you guys been working on this one?
This one has actually only been a little over 2 years. So it's the fastest game development cycle we've ever had. We started right at the very tail end of Battle Block Theater, somewhere in 2013. So yeah, it's been a little over 2.
Yeah, as a big fan of your studio, it'd be great to see a little more output from you guys, like more than once a generation practically.
Working on it. Our team size, we're growing. We're getting bigger and bigger. So again, I think as these development cycles kind of close in, we're going to see some stuff. We're going to see some more stuff.
And I understand Pit People is coming to Xbox One and Windows 10. Can you tell us anything about that?
It's going to be Xbox One with Win 10 to follow, and there will be crossplay, and we're just kind of figuring that all out now. And again, just making sure, tapping into a lot of the features that Xbox has to offer, and making sure getting that, integrating that in the game in a way that makes sense, and that will, elevate the game.
And the plan is also for cross-buy right now, or no?
Yeah, that's definitely one of them.
Excellent.
It's on the list.
So when can we expect this on Xbox One?
No release date as of yet. However, we're having a closed beta later this year. So we're going to open it to the masses, well, some of the masses.
Well, I'm really looking forward to that. Thank you for your time, man.
Thanks for taking the time to talk to us.
All right, guys. Follow me on Twitter and Twitch, and whatever you do, don't hate, appreciate.